Shalom, shalom. I am Lauren Nefesha, and I'm here to just talk to you about the Humbled by His Presence Day 4 that we're on. I hope that this time has been blessing everyone. Today's lesson is broken hearts, and so Humbled by His Presence by Hope Dawid. And so we're looking at broken hearts, and one of the reasons why I'm doing this devotional in particular to talk about it is because I'm a mosaic artist. And so mosaics, I'll show you, I have a canvas print of one of my mosaics. I'll try to bring it up closer and you can see it there. And mosaics are made out of broken glass. I make mine typically out of broken glass, and that's also broken wood. I chop up the wood and I break pieces to make an image. And as I was reading this devotional, it really brought me back to the beginning of my mosaic making. It was at a time where I was very broken, and the Most High began to speak to me and very clearly and point me in the right direction and bring me closer to the path that He has for me. And so I actually went to a community center. I tell the story all the time because it is my story. It's how I found my call, is how I found my purpose. And so I went to a community center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I was there to actually do a Bible study with a group of kids in an after-school program. My cousin was helping run their after-school program. It was called Bear Fruit. And so the Bible study was called Bear Fruit. And so I was there to teach the Bible to kids. And in the midst of it, I got a little tour of the community center, and I saw kids literally just breaking tile and glass and creating this really beautiful art. And that just really attracted me. I was drawn to it. And the Most High spoke to me in that moment, and He said, this is basically what I'm going to do with you. I'm taking you from your brokenness, from your space of not knowing, having direction and purpose, and feeling very broken in your life and just really disgusted and feeling like not having any type of direction, but just kind of like, what's next? What do I do? Who am I? What was I called to do? I finally began to ask those questions after living a life of just like doing what I wanted to do, following my own moral compass, doing all types of things that were completely in the opposite direction of my call, opposite direction of who He called me to be, what He called me to do, and going on someone else's path, a different path than what He had for me. And I had many, when you reach those, what they call forks in the road, and it was like, do it my way or do it Yah's way. And consistently, I would say, I'm doing it my way. I don't want to do it Yah's way. It felt too constricting. It felt too, like I wasn't able to be myself, but not knowing who I truly even was, and having an idea of who I wanted to be, but thoroughly broken, shattered. And so often, those are the times that Yah speaks to us, and He says, now I can work with you. Now I'm going to call you. Now I'm going to speak to your spirit. Now I'm going to pull you out of the situation that you're in. I'm going to be the potter, and I'm going to take your broken clay and make a beautiful piece of artwork. And so when I saw that art, I was like, and He began to speak to me. I mean, it just hit, it clicked. And from then on, I've been making mosaic art. And that is the story that I tell every time I get a chance to talk about mosaics, because He truly took me from a place of brokenness, and He formed me and He molded me, and He's continuing to form and mold me into who He has called me to be. And in the midst of it, I've learned that there's freedom in His purpose. There's freedom in His plan. There's freedom in His call. There's freedom in His direction. There's freedom in His law. And there's so much that we in this world, we don't want to accept that freedom truly is in Yah. We think that freedom is in all these other things and to do what we want to do and live our best life, so to speak, and YOLO, you only live once, so basically do you. And I remember at that time I was reading through Judges, and every time, Yah would call the people, and it said, but they went and did what was right in their own eyes. And it causes more brokenness. It causes more pain. It causes destruction. And we see it over and over again. But when we allow Yah to heal us, to mold and shape us, as let him be the artist, let us just be the tools that he uses to create a beautiful form of art. And so there's one sentence in here. Okay, so when we come to him broken, we have exhausted all other options. Believe me, I went through studying all these different religions. I grew up in the church, but it kind of like got into meditation and Buddhism, and I was like, I want to do these things and try to figure out is there any other way than Yah's way. And so we have exhausted every other option and are finally ready to place ourselves into his delicate hands. And that truly was my story. I had exhausted every option. I looked far and wide trying to figure out another way, any other way than Yah, than God at the time, I would say. And so I had exhausted my options, and then I came to him just completely shattered and broken. Another sentence in here that I want to pull out. Hulda said, today, if you have broken pieces of your life that you are holding on to. So even now, as I'm being shaped and molded, there's pieces that I'm like, I can't, okay, but I got to give you that. Okay, what's next? Okay, I got to give you that. And you reach another level, and then Yah says, okay, I want more. I want more of you, more of you. And then he takes those pieces, and you start to see this masterpiece, and it's developing, and it's shaping, and it's molded, and it's formed, and it becomes this beautiful artwork. And the rest of the world, that's the light. That's the light that Yah wants the world to see. His masterpiece, not our masterpiece, but his masterpiece. And that happens through our willingness to turn to him, to turn our eyes toward him, to raise our hands and say, Yah, do what you see fit. Do what you do. And so Hulda said, today, if you have broken pieces of your life that you're holding on to, trust that in the hands of Yah, they can be used in his service. And so growing up, I always knew I was supposed to do ministry in some way. I think my family is called to that. Actually, we come from the lineage of Harriet Tubman. Her brother actually is like my great uncle, something like that. I can't remember exactly. My mom would be able to better explain that one. But her brother, so we come from that direct line. And so I always pull on that. I'm like, yeah, I know that you have something powerful. I know that you have something good, something for me to do in ministry, to bring other people to you, to be a light to this world. And I've experienced the darkness. I've experienced the bad. I've experienced the debauchery that exists in this world. And now, yeah, I come to you broken, shattered. Use me and create in me a new and clean heart, a right spirit within me, that I can continue to do your will, that I can continue to follow you and worship you. And so I praise Yah for him giving me that moment of clarity and for being so patient with me. And as an artist, that's something that I struggle with, actually. I struggle with being patient with the process. But even with us, Yah is continuing to be patient. He's patient with us. He shapes and molds us. He says, hey, I need that piece. That piece fits right here. And like when I do my art, I always say every piece has a place. And so when I pick up a piece, I'm like, there's a place for this. I might have to shape it a little bit. I might have to mold it a little bit. I might have to cut it a little bit. But I'm gonna put it in it, and then there it goes, and then there's that art piece. And so I just want to share this piece. This was something that I've recently finished, and this, of course, is a canvas print of it, but come boldly before the throne of grace to receive mercy and grace and help in the time of need. Remember that in your brokenness, that in your vulnerability, that is the time that Yah can use you the most. So all praises to the Most High. I pray that this moment blesses you guys. Thank you for just following Yah and what he's called you to do. Thank you for being a patron and for just being willing to strive and to run this race with us as we run to win this race together as a community and as individuals. Hallelujah, Todah, and shalom, shalom, y'all.